Welcome back to another episode of ROC Boys Football. We are continuing taking a look at some of these bowl games as we head down to the Taxslayer Gator Bowl between the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the South Carolina Gamecocks. The South Carolina Gamecocks have been one of the more fun teams to watch this whole year. It has been an up and down roller coaster of a year, but they're finishing on top with wins against Tennessee and Clemson. Coach Beamer, I think, clearly has his program heading in the right direction. And if you're a South Carolina fan, I'm not even a South Carolina fan. I'm rooting for the Gamecocks. He's a very, very charismatic dude, easy to root for. Love watching the South Carolina Gamecocks play. Notre Dame, also a team that trending in the right direction, even though they had a tough year. I think Coach Freeman is the right man for the job. You obviously head in losing your starting quarterback in Tyler Buckner early. Drew Pine has trouble kind of adjusting to that starting role. But they figured it out down the stretch, going 8-4. I mean, not the season Notre Dame fans are used to or expect. That being said, I think you feel a little bit better about how that season finished up for Notre Dame. Before we get into this matchup, though, I just want to say thank you guys for real for all the support you guys have shown. If you guys enjoy the content, the best way to support us is to subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comment section who you guys got in this game. Again, we appreciate all the support you guys have shown. Let's get into this matchup, and I think looking at this matchup, I think you have to talk about the opt-outs first. For Notre Dame, their two best players on both sides of the football. Michael Mayer, that tight end, star, going to be a top maybe 20 pick. The most important player on the field for Notre Dame on the offensive side of the ball. He is opted out going to the NFL draft. Isaiah Foskey, the best player on the defensive side of the ball, has also opted out going to the NFL draft. And then Drew Pine, he is transferring to Arizona State, will not be playing in this game. South Carolina also has quite a few opt-outs. Marshawn Lloyd, the star running back, leading rusher for South Carolina, he has hit the transfer portal, will not be playing. Zach Pickens opted out for the NFL draft. You have Cam Smith, the best cornerback for the South Carolina Gamecocks. He has also opted out, probably will be a first-round pick. Austin Stogner going back to Oklahoma. Jaheim Bell transferring to Florida State, will not be playing in this game. Both of these guys, these teams have pretty influential opt-outs. And then you got to take a look at maybe what is the biggest mismatches we see in this game. And the one that stands out to me the most is Notre Dame's rushing attack against a South Carolina defense, especially against a run that has struggled so much. This is, if you guys remember us talking South Carolina football coming into the year in August doing our summer scouting, our biggest concern was how are they going to stop the run? They haven't really addressed it that well. I mean, I've been kind of disappointed with how good Zach Pickens has been the last couple of years. Again, coming in as a five-star dude, hasn't really lived up to those expectations, and he won't even be playing in this game. South Carolina defense that's giving up over 4.8 yards per carry to opposing running backs is going up against a Notre Dame team that has a very, very good offensive line. You take a look at that offensive line. I'm a massive fan of what they have up front, looking at guys like Joe Alt, Jarrett Patterson on the inside, Corral. I think this is a very good offensive line that will certainly be good next year with all those good tackles. And then a really, really good running back committee. Logan Diggs, Audric Estimine, Chris Tyree. This is a team that likes to run the football. Tyler Buckner is a guy that, if assuming he starts, that it's an either or. I would be very surprised if Tyler Buckner does not start this football game. Tyler Buckner, more of an athletic guy who you want to use his legs. I would be very surprised if Notre Dame does not just hammer the ball on the ground against a South Carolina team that, quite frankly, has really struggled to stop the run. Now, the big question is how well are they going to be able to throw the ball? No Michael Mayer. If South Carolina stacks the box, like puts 8 guys in the box to stop the run, is Notre Dame going to be able to beat South Carolina over the top throwing the football? I don't know, and that's why I'm not like gung-ho on Notre Dame. I think when you first look at this line, and look at the matchup, I think it makes sense to like Notre Dame early because of their ability to run the football. That being said, I'm really concerned about that passing attack without Drew Pine, without Michael Mayer. I just don't know if they're going to be able to throw the football effectively. And it's really hard to win football games against a solid SEC team when you're that one-dimensional. Now, flipping the side, I mean, South Carolina's offense the last couple of weeks have been absolutely phenomenal. This is a South Carolina team that's kind of been up and down on the offensive side of the ball, but putting up 63 against Tennessee, putting up 31 against Clemson, one of the best defenses in the country. Spencer Rattler's starting to figure it out. And he had some growing pains. I thought that offensive line for South Carolina early was really bad. And Spencer Rattler was getting a lot of heat for some turnovers and some missed throws when It just didn't seem like he was getting a chance inside the pocket. Offensive line's been a little better. Spencer Rattler's been a lot better. And you look at kind of who they have on the offense side of the ball. You obviously don't have Marshawn Lloyd. That's tough. Christian Beal-Smith, I think, is a more than capable running back, again, as a Wake Forest guy. I remember him at Wake Forest. Very, very good football player. Juice Wells, the transfer from James Madison, he's been phenomenal. Very, very big fan of him. They have some wide receivers that can make some noise. Now, not having a guy like Jaheim Bell obviously hurts, but they weren't really using him that much. And Spencer Rattler has found some targets that he really, really likes. And I mean, Spencer Rattler, the last couple games, has kind of looked back like the 5-star he was coming into Oklahoma. A really talented arm, making some absolutely mind-boggling throws, especially in that Clemson game. Um, this is a guy that I think is starting to figure it out, and I hope he comes back for one more year, and South Carolina can maybe really make some noise in the SEC if Spencer Rattler continues to play the way he is playing. Now, getting to the pick, I think both teams are going to be able to figure out how to score some points. I think Spencer Rattler in that South Carolina offense has started to figure out. I mean, putting up 31 on Clemson is a very, very good showing. Putting up 63 on Tennessee in the last 2 games, I like that a lot. But I also think Notre Dame is going to be able to move the ball against a Clemson or South Carolina defense that has been very, very bad against the run, giving up almost 200 yards per game against the run. That over under 51 seems a little low. I'm leaning 2 ways. I think I'm leaning South Carolina just with the disgusting amount of opt-outs that Notre Dame has. I mean, South Carolina has some opt-outs too, but I don't think there's any bigger opt-out than Michael Mayer not playing for Notre Dame. He was just so important to that offense. And then you take a look at South Carolina. They have some opt-outs, but I don't think they're going to hurt South Carolina as bad. And then I also like that over 51 because I do think both teams will score the points. I think Shane Beamer is going to have South Carolina ready to play really good football in the bowl game. If you remember last year, beating North Carolina. If there's a motivation factor in a football game, I'm going to pick Shane Beamer's team because he's going to have his dogs ready to play and ready to play really, really hard. I'm leaning South Carolina. I'm leaning that over. Again, keeping this short for you guys. Appreciate the support you guys have shown. If you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.